Easy 3 Sport Production. I'm your host, Suttles, and before we get started, if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that sub button. Make sure you click that like button. YouTube always likes it. And be sure to leave your comments in the comment section. I want to hear what you got to think about this next subject. So without further ado, let's get it. So the first 4 games of the 2022 NFL season for the New York Football Giants, they are 3-1. Who could have predicted or who could have imagined that this team with so little talent would be 3-1 after 4 games? It ended up beating the Titans, beat the Panthers, lost to the Cowboys, and then we beat the Bears. And now we got the Packers coming up. But I want to review over these last 4 games and really show the progression and see exactly where we are at and where I thought that we would be. So at the beginning of the season, we all make record predictions and things of that nature, and I thought that we would be coming out of this 2-2. I thought that we would be led by our defense and Saquon Barkley, and I had believed that Daniel Jones was not going to show too much simply because he's in a new system with Brian Daboll, and he wasn't going to be able to really get into the system maybe game 8, 9, 10 week. That's when we're going to start to see better play from him, because right now the New York Giants defensively, we're ranked 15th. Wink Martindale is doing an amazing job with the talent that he has out there. It's not too much talent, but he is doing the best that he can, and they are definitely carrying this team. We can bet on our defense playing pretty consistent and keeping us into the game so that towards the end we can have an opportunity to definitely pull out the dub, and that's what they've been doing game in and game out. Wink Martindale has been sending a lot of blitzes. We only have 9 sacks for the season, but overall it's been a very good fit and a very good look when it comes to the defensive end for the New York Giants. We see Dexter Lawrence really coming into his own. It took him a while, but we see that he is trying to put himself in the premier defensive tackles conversation for this season. Leonard Williams, we've seen how big of an impact he was, but he got injured. So, we're going to see how long he's going to be out for, but Adoree Jackson is playing very good. Kayvon Thibodeau and Azeez Ojulari, they missed the first 2 games. They've only played 2 games. Against the Cowboys, they was really non-existent, but against the Bears, they were definitely seen. Kayvon Thibodeau was all over the quarterback. He was making Justin Fields step up into the pocket, really roaming. Azeez Ojulari actually got a strip sack, and Kayvon recovered it. So I think looking forward, going into the second quarter of this season, I really do feel like that this defense is just going to get better. And I believe that they're going to become more shut down and get more pressure on the quarterback and really lead this team to where we want to be. Now, going on the offensive end, you already see what we need. The offensive line is a little bit better, but we are way better in run blocking than we are with pass blocking. We're actually number one, numero uno, rushing offense in the league, and that is because of the offensive line and, more importantly, Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley is back. When he made all of those preseason statements of F everybody, we're going to show them, he is putting that stamp on it. He is a monster. They kept saying that he could not be the same guy that he was during his rookie season, and he has proven them extremely wrong, because he's not like he was in his rookie season. He is better than what he was in his rookie season, and some people may take offense to that, but look at the way that he's playing. The eye test will tell it all. He is not dancing behind the line trying to break everything for 50-yard gains and getting 5-yard losses. He is hitting the hole hard. He is making sure even the little 1 to 2 yard gains, he is taking them. He has changed up his running style that is way more effective and more impactful on the game and on winning. It is not a coincidence that the best player on the field for our 3 wins was Saquon Barkley. Our 1 loss, that the best player on the field at that time was Daniel Jones. Now, we're going to get to Daniel Jones, but I need to get to at these receivers. We have no receivers whatsoever. I don't know what is going on, and it's frustrating. It's very frustrating because you have the number 1 rushing attack, but you have the number 31st passing attack. And don't get me wrong, the guys that are out there, they are trying hard, but they are just Jags. They are just another guy. When we're talking about Davis Sills, when we're talking about Richie James, those guys are just out there. Those are just regular guys, and they're just trying to basically stay on this roster, but they're not meant to be starters. They're not meant to be out there for majority of the snaps, but yet they are. Kenny Golladay has completely checked out. If I was Joe Shane, I would just cut him. I mean, you're going to have a lot of dead cap, but it's no reason for you to even pay this man and him to be on the sideline because he's just going to be a cancer to anybody else. He is checked out, and good riddance because he is absolutely terrible. This was one thing that Detroit was telling us about when we went and signed him on free agent. That was a Dave Gettleman move, by the way. But his attitude and the way that he holds himself, he's just in it for the money. And you see that he's just in it for the money. He's not running routes hard. He's not hustling. Even when he states, I should be playing more, he gets out there, he gets more snaps, and he drops 2 to 3 balls that's thrown straight to him by Danny. Get him out of here. Kadarius Toney, I have no idea what's going on with Kadarius Toney. He's always injured. And it's looking worse and worse for Kadarius Toney, and the Gettleman projects is just looking worse and worse simply because we wanted Devontae Smith. We all knew that we wanted Devontae Smith. We wanted a wide receiver. Devontae Smith was the guy. When the Eagles jumped us in the draft, they jumped us over the they traded with the Cowboys. That's fine. But the problem and issue is that whenever a Giants fan look at Kadarius Toney and see that he has talent, but he's not basically on the field, we're always going to think, what if? Because Micah Parsons was out there and we could have drafted him. But we traded out and we ended up getting the picks that eventually landed Evan Neal, and I can't really think of what it turned out to be again, but one of the biggest ones was Evan Neal the year after. But we could have had Micah Parsons. And he's looking like he's going to be the defensive player of the year, while our guy that we drafted can't even stay on the field. Wan'Dale Robinson, he's another one. They drafted him this year in the 2nd round. He's been injured. We really need wide receiver help because we need somebody to get some type of separation for Danny. Danny is not a guy who's going to put this team on his back, put the cape on and say, get on my back, I'm going to take you to the promised land. That is not Daniel Jones whatsoever. Daniel Jones is a guy who's going to work really well when everything is working well. Now, for Danny, I do not believe that he has earned anything at this point. He has not earned a second contract. Yes, we are winning, but we are not winning because of Danny. He's making some plays, do not get me wrong, but we are winning because of the defense, and we are winning because of Saquon Barkley. So if I was to say right now, are you going to give Danny a long-term contract and or are you going to put him on the franchise tag? The answer would be no. But he still has basically 3 more quarters of the season to prove me wrong. Now, if you agree with me, hit that like. If not, hit me in the comments. Till next time.